For today's movie review, I'll be reviewing Gappa, the Triphibian Monster, a 1967 kaiju film created by the Daikyojū Company, or however the hell you pronounce that, to cash in on the Daikyojū movie craze going on between the late 50s and early 70s, although over here in the United States it was known as Monster from a Prehistoric Planet, and really that's the only thing known about the movie other than the fact that it almost put the company out of business. So, is Gappa the Triphibian Monster any good? As for the plot of Gappa the Triphibian Monster, the film is about a group of Japanese reporters who discover an infant monster called Gappa, and the reporters decide to take the creature back to Japan where it becomes a media attraction. This angers Gappa's full-grown parents who decide to make their way towards Japan to find their child. In terms of what I liked about the movie, I thought the pacing was pretty decent. And I like the overall design of the Triphibian monsters since they look like a cross between a literal bird and a reptile. And speaking of the designs for the monsters, I also like the designs for both the parent kaijus, because if you really look at the two of them, they have slightly different features that's relevant to one or the other, indicating that one of them's a male and one of them's a female. Like that I thought was pretty cool. I also like the plot point that is, the monsters aren't attacking Japan because of them looking for nuclear energy or oil refineries or being mind controlled. No, they're just attacking Japan because they just want to find their son. Nothing more, nothing less. In terms of what I've disliked about the movie, now granted, even though I do like the plot point of having two parent kaijus looking for their infant, this isn't the first time we've seen that element before. Actually, now the more I think about it, this particular movie takes elements from other giant monster movies, such as Rodan, Mothra, and more specifically Gorgo, since that movie is literally about a giant monster try to rescue its infant. Special effects, they're not the worst, but they're not the best. And the lighting, during the night, it just sucks. Because during the day, it's not too bad, but during the night shots, I can hardly make out what's going on in some certain scenes. Also, the characters in this movie are a bunch of idiots. Like, case in point, I think the biggest idiot, other than the obvious comical relief character, is the lead female character. Because at the start of the movie, she is a Korean woman who's in photography, and one of the co-workers is just like, "Hey, this ain't a job for you. You should be at home, cooking dinner, looking after the kids." And she's like, "Nah, I'm not for that." And by the time the movie ends, she's like, "You know what, I'm gonna quit my job and become a housewife." Going against everything she said at the beginning of the film. Also, some logical points don't make any sense in the movie. Like, the two that stood out to me were the fact that some of the characters called two giant blimps helicopters. I'm not really sure why they called them helicopters, but they did, even though they're obviously blimps. And there's one other plot point, well, that really doesn't go anywhere, or is not really addressed, where you see a scene with a baby Gappa interacting with a bunch of kids. And, you know, it does nothing to them. And the adult, one of the adults is like, why is it interacting with them and not attacking them? And one of the other paper's just like, maybe it's connected to humanity. Which makes no sense, since earlier in the movie we see a bunch of adult characters torturing the poor thing. So, I think logically it's more connected to kids because both of them are kids. But to humanity, that just doesn't really make any sense to me. Also, this is probably some of the worst blackface I've seen in a Japanese monster movie. Although, at the same time, this isn't the first time I've seen bad blackface in a Japanese monster movie. And I swear to God, when they actually first go to the island, it feels like there's like another movie missing or something. Because when they meet the natives for the first time, the natives are like, "Thank you for saving us from Gappa." And this is at the start of the movie. And literally, the movie, the way it starts, is literally just them going to the island. So it feels like they were missing information. For my final verdict of Gappa the Triphibian Monster, I don't think this is the worst giant monster movie I've ever seen, but it's not the best. Only because the plot points, characters, and elements in this movie I've seen in several other giant monster movies. So really, this one's just very standard and adds nothing new to the formula. And even though I don't think the movie's bad necessarily, there's clearly better giant monster movies to watch. And before I give my final rating, what did everyone else have to say about Gappa the Triphibian Monster? Looks like Gappa the Triphibian Monster got generally negative reception. So, for my final rating of Gappa the Triphibian Monster, I give it a 2 out of 5. So, what's your favorite giant monster movie that's not created by Toho Studios? And see you later.